So we are back. It's been about a week, a little longer since Las Vegas, and just like the disappointment that has emerged from that race has dissipated. I've spent a lot of time thinking about what I need to do, but I did take the time to kind of mourn it, right? It's part of the process, had a lot of buildup, so I made sure to not kind of block those feelings, those emotions out. But now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to get back into things. So I need to take the next steps to qualify for World Championships, and that is to go to Scotland to run in that next major. I don't necessarily need to go, but there's only 2 opportunities left. It's Scotland for a major, and then Barcelona for a last chance qualifier. And the way things are kind of shaking up, it's about 4 or 5 weeks out from right now to Scotland. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go give myself the best opportunity there. And if need be, there is Barcelona, but hopefully not. So as I approach this next step, there are a couple of challenges that I really foresee that I need to really address in this next short block of training. The first one is international travel, and the second one is going to be how I'm going to approach my training with only about 4 weeks left. So first, let's talk about the international travel. This is going to be an opportunity for me to kind of change my relationship with international travel. I've not performed well at all traveling internationally, I think for a variety of different reasons. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to really get a plan together with my approach and my supplementation, and with the partnership that I have with the feed. I feel really confident that I'm going to be able to put together the best plan possible for this, and that has to start now. In the past, I've taken a bit too much time to, like, I would think about it, and then like the travel would creep up, and then it would be time to go, and I didn't have like a really solid plan. So I'm going to take time to make this plan. Okay, so it is a month out, but it is time to really start playing around, figuring out what I need to bring with me on this trip. One from the sleep and jet lag protocol. That's something that's going to be ongoing. I don't quite have that figured out yet, but I want to show you what I got from the feed that I'm definitely going to bring, and it's just kind of part of my protocol, my process in general, and also some things that I've been trying out. So the best part about the feed is that they have so much stuff that I'm just trying everything, and I'm going to test a lot of things out, and then I'm going to just like figure out what works, figure out what I might not need to use in my own personal training. So to start, of course, I have some of my absolute favorites. These are Go Bars by BPN, and I have some Go Gels. These are like really crucial to my training day to day. The Go Gels, really easy way to take in calories, long runs, pre-quality sessions. Tastes like real food, delicious, and definitely a quality endurance gel. The Go Bar, this is something that I found, this is the best option for a pre-workout meal that I found. It is satiating and it's substantial, but it's also kind of light. So if you don't want to take in liquid calories, or if you have a hard time eating anything and it gives you like digestion issues, I would try these Go Bars. Like I said, they're delicious, they're light, and they provide a lot of good quality energy. It's 200 calories per bar, so it's like a good amount of energy, and it doesn't like weigh you down, which is awesome. So now for some of the newer pieces that I'm going to be trying. These are called FireFly. I have tried these before. These are something that is really solid for travel. You strap these onto your lower leg, like right below your knee, and it stimulates one of your nerves in that area, and just kind of like make sure that the blood is flowing and is not pooling in your lower legs during like a long bout of travel. So you put these on while you're on the plane in one position for a long time. This could also be great for if you like work, if you're sedentary. just to kind of help with the blood flow into your lower legs. It's a pretty interesting sensation because it is like an electrical pulse that runs into you and will make like your foot kind of kick up. But these are really good to have on flights, pre-race or even post-race, really. Here's something that is brand new. I've been trying this, and again, I'm going to give this a bit more of a shot over the course of the long haul. It's called V.Nella, and this is short for V.Nella, which is a gut bacteria. They have two, so basically these are probiotics. So the concept here, like the way that it reads, it's like the lactic acid metabolizer, fatigue fighting, and good for your endurance. So they have some publications on their website that I've dug into a little bit. And basically the concept is in people who are trained for endurance sports, they have more of this V.Nella in their gut. It's a higher level of that. So it turns out that this gut bacteria can metabolize lactate that arrives in your gut. We think that it gets metabolized through your liver, which most of it does, but some does get through your gut too. And if it does not get metabolized there, it will pass back into your blood, which can increase fatigue, right? So the idea with this, like, is that it will metabolize it and send it back into short chain fatty acids, which will be a bit easier for you to use as fuel and will not give you that nasty byproduct. I'm interested to see how this helps that kind of like queasy feeling. Like when I'm real high in lactate, I'll feel it. I will feel it in my gut. I don't know if this will cool that off. And generally, if I'm feeling that, that's at the very, very end of a workout. So I don't know if this is something that, if that's really a place that is going to be helpful. But I'm going to try this. I've been trying this for about a week now. And I don't expect it to like really change the game, but I think that it could be helpful. There's been no real significant studies on humans for endurance performance. They got mice really fit, running on a treadmill, adding some of this stuff into their gut. So I'm interested in this. I'm going to keep trying it. I will be taking more and more things in the next couple of weeks to kind of dial things in. But I'm just making sure I have my plan. I have food that is going, that I have enough food here that is going to come with me. I have all of the pieces of things that are going to be my staples for the next 3 or 4 weeks of training. So I'm just trying to get ahead of it. And this is where I'm at with the actual like nuts and bolts of what I'm going to take with me. It feels kind of cold in here. Just give me a second. That's better. I'm also feeling kind of warm. It feels a little warm in here now. Hold on. Ow, that's good. Now we feel perfect and ready to go for this next block of training. This just doesn't make any sense at all. So the next challenge that I figure I have for this next block is going to be the training itself. So going into Las Vegas, that was a really big A race for me. So I had some time to kind of taper down. And generally after a taper in like an A race, there'd be a bit more of time down and time to kind of rebuild. But because I only have 4 weeks of training here before a next really big race I need to be as prepared for as possible, there's a bit of a wrinkle into the plan. So this is now a great time to deploy a strategy called a reverse taper. So when you taper down, right, you slightly reduce the amount of volume or intensity leading into the race so that your readiness to perform rises. Now that we're coming out and we have an event on the other side, you kind of need to just like redo, kind of climb out of that hole that you were in, right? So if you're tapering, if your volume goes down, you're down here. Now I want to slightly bring my volume and intensity back up. So it feels intuitive just to be like, all right, I just need to get back to the exact place where I was with my training and my intensity, but there needs to be progression to go. I mean, 4 weeks isn't a lot, but it's not nothing. There's still time to build off of the previous week of training. So in order to do that, I need to give myself I need to give myself space to build week over week. So if I just jump right back into peak training, a couple things that could happen. One, there's not going to be much else, another place to go. Like I can't really go higher than where I was at my peak. I could, but I'm risking overtraining and under recovering. So giving myself space to get higher and higher is a good solution for this. And also, if I jump right back into it, I might not be able to handle that amount of volume within a session because I've tapered the past 2 or 3 weeks. So having a reverse taper is a really good strategy if you are having these back-to-back races that are important to you within a couple weeks span, within maybe 4, 6, 8 weeks or so, to build back out of the taper that you built into your A race, and so that you have a good amount of time to progress back into it. So with this first week of training, what I did, I really kind of loaded up on the intensity, kept the volume a little bit shorter, and now I have space to build on top of that and to make sure that I'm not going too hard in on the intensity and foregoing the volume, and on the opposite, just doing too much volume so that I'm not able to recover from the actual session.
So now when we're looking at the training aspect for these next couple weeks, is about 4 or 5 weeks out from the next race. There's not a ton I can really do in terms of changing my approach. I feel like I have done a lot of things right, and I'm going to keep with those things in terms of like designing the intensity and being able to sit in a certain spot. So one thing I didn't do very well was put in some specific work on the back end. I don't find farmers to be a great stimulus, and I don't love walking lunges in terms of just like the recoverability, just a lot. It's like really hard. But those are 2 areas that I really struggled on, that I lost a lot of time. There's probably between the 2 of those, I think at least 40 seconds, like just in that last race. So I need to do some specific work there. So I'm just going to take the template that I've been using with most of my other work and then sticking in some of these just to help with the skill, help with the speed of these workouts, because that's something that I just can't overlook, right? Like it's within my control. I just thought I was okay. And in the previous races, I was fine. But in this, I don't know what it was, just like the intensity being ramped up a little bit more, a little bit earlier. Just kind of ran out of juice in those back stations. And it wasn't even totally the fatigue, because I had a good couple runs around those stations and I had a good set of wall balls to finish. So today we're going to be doing some lunges and some farmers in some specific work. So the idea behind this workout was to give myself 2 20-minute pieces that could really ramp up the intensity. So on the front end, I had an EMOM, and went 18 cal ski, 30 meter burpee broad jump, 18 cal row, 20 meter sled push, and 75 meter farmers. And this was really, really hard. The 18 cals and the sled push were pretty aggressive. The stimulus was incredible, but it was really a challenge. And I wanted to put in some parameters around the stations themselves, not just the machines, so that I could have a decent idea of what kind of intensity is possible over the course of a minute. My machines are fairly dialed in, but the stations I'm not quite sure. And this was absolutely aggressive. But I was very happy by the end of these 20 minutes. So then I took about 2 minutes rest and popped on the assault treadmill. From here, I did 3.5 mile tempo run. I tried to hold around 5:40 pace, which is right around 3:30-ish, 3:31 per kilometer. And I was able to hold this fairly well, but it was really stretching me. So it felt very intense, which was the idea. And then every mile, I was stopping and completing about 35 meters of walking lunges. Again, just to get some of this specific work in, and also playing around with my cadence and how I'm going to approach the race itself.
The morning process is normal, and it is part of being a competitor. And if you do not accomplish what you feel like you are capable of accomplishing, that type of disappointment should be felt, right? And not blocked out. And that is just kind of part of this whole thing. And then kind of coming back to the plan that you did before. And what I like to do is kind of restructure things, see what went well, see what didn't go well, take what I felt was good and modify the rest, right? And this is just the ongoing process of improving for a sport like HYROX, or for any sport in general, for any skill that you're taking on. It's not going to be all linear, good progress, awesome all the time, but there's wins to take out from all of that. So I have some projects to work on. My fitness is in a good spot. My training feels great. So we'll keep you posted on what we got going on further. And if you're going to be in Scotland, I will see you there.